Hi, welcome. My name's Melissa, and I thought about doing a little bit of I guess what we could call as an energy update and talk a little bit about soul groups and soul tribes and soul families and what's going on in the energy right now for the collective consciousness as well as most likely each one of us personally, like in our lives and how things are unfolding in our lives, our careers, our families, things like that. So I'm going to start with, we just passed through the September 13th, Friday the 13th full moon in Pisces. It's called the Jaguar moon, and I was really excited. I was feeling all of this bubbling love. Like I can still feel it. It's like that feeling that like when you're falling in love, it's so exciting and it's passionate and which is pretty amazing because I haven't been feeling passion lately in any respect, in any aspect of life. So this feels good, and I'm just almost expecting, Prince Charming to be on my doorstep and serenading me, and $1 million to fly through my ceiling, and just really everything just to be all right. It just feels that happy, good. And I feel loved. I feel like I'm not alone, which is in my lifetime I have felt separate, alone, kind of isolated, lots of PTSD, trauma, extreme, extraordinary trauma that I've really worked on. I've tried to get through. I've worked on in many ways, many years. And so the energy for the collective consciousness is in a way kind of bubbling up, like issues are surfacing in many ways, and I guess in the world view are all around us, but personally is what I am more focused on, at least these days. And right now I've each client that I've had lately has had extreme issues with some old wounded patterns, programs, pain, abuse, narcissism, loss, grief, struggles bubbling up into their faces. Amazing, wonderful clients I have. And I kept going, whoa, this is, whoa. If we can breathe and heal through this and address it now, that will be a really good choice, is what but subtly, not loudly, like let's call people and tell them that it's all their fault and things like that, because it seems like while this time period is going on, and our next full moon will be in Aries, which I love the fire energy, and I'm very strong, and I like that strength. But as we move on, we're learning that we are very much creators of our reality, and we really are manifesting, whether it's on a subconscious level on accident, which I keep getting mad at myself for this last year and a half, going, are you kidding? How could I possibly pulled that back in? How could have I magnetized this? And I was like, for instance, just relationship issues, people taking advantage, and I was really bad sick. And I am like, the crystal healer, was a massage therapist for 25 years. I've done psychic medium readings for 25 years. And I just was like, how can I possibly, be this behind? What's wrong with me? Which, is tough for all of us. So I would say maybe if all of us personally going through stuff, or if we feel uncomfortable, if we still feel stagnant, unable to get to the next level of happiness or success or connection in love or family or relationships, or with our children, our families, at work. If you just feel like you're up against a wall and it's just frustrating, this is what's in the collective mass consciousness right now that I'm noticing, at least. And issues, like really big issues that we have on the world stage, and our awareness in many layers are coming up. Like there's pain and suffering, or we've made bad choices. There's been bad possible leadership in the past. And it's time that we no longer focus on that and get mad about that, but we focus on really good stuff or positives, or what do you really want? That is so hard when there are things stuck in your subconscious and you're not sure of how, like, where did this come from? Why do I still have trauma bubbling up? I paid $10,000 in therapy over the last many years, and energy healing and all kinds of stuff. So, I'm hearing this in many people, and on a personal level as well as, bigger levels, and, all the way up to worldwide or maybe universal, who knows? The galactic shifting going on is what I got to say. And I've also been feeling extremely strong energies from, different dimensional beings, different light beings, and in particular, Sirius A. So there's a big gush of energy coming in with knowledge, understanding for starseeds who are just more aware of dimensional things, star beings, things like that. Have a remembrance of being more than just a human person, maybe that we expand further, but I'm having extreme connection and downloads with some of the higher dimensions, and that really feels lovely, because it felt like for a while I was very stagnant, and I'm trying to have surgeries, and I'm trying to fix this that I couldn't fix before, and that and this. It was just there was a lot going on, and so now I feel uber connected, and so I'm really excited, because one of the messages I got today, spirit messages, was that all of us are having kind of a shift and release of some whatever it is. It could be small issues or big issues, traumas, abuses, or just misunderstandings or discomfort between your neighbor and you. It could be anything. And it just feels like those things are shifting. We're going to look at them, and we're going to realize that we are more connected. We're being more connected to our spiritual gifts and talents and abilities, understanding, and as well as just what we're good at, like reigniting our passions. And so I was saying prayers this morning, because I kind of woke up with some PTSD moments, and I was going, really? Just really? So I was kind of panicky for no reason, and I thought, I'm going to work on this. I am not joking. I'm not stopping. And I'm going to instead, write some affirmations and do some energy work and say some prayers, and I'm going to manifest the good stuff, which is always one of my strongest traits. I just usually have fun and laugh a lot and have kind of an adventure of a life. So on that note, it's my understanding that it would be a really good idea to focus on the positive, focus on the fun. What do you really want? And in life. And I thought, well, I'll just pull a card and see about the theme that can be helpful for us. And I chose, I've been having a blast, you guys. I have been having so much fun, because I lived in different places and small places, and I haven't had all my decks of oracle cards and affirmations, affirmative things, cards out, tarot cards and things like that for a long time. I've only had a couple of decks. And so I chose the Magical Unicorns deck. I do a Read Virtue today, because it kind of feels that bubbly little safety, like childlike innocence that for me, kind of, it came up today that I really, all that childlike joy and innocence had been smashed, stolen, beaten out of me several times in my life, and then the last couple of years it was pretty brutal. And so again, as we are processing and bringing it up for final release, so that we can rise up in consciousness and actually as a whole, as a humanity, as a universe, we will learn to pick and choose and get rid of some of those really lower vibrations like abuse and atrocity and loss and hunger and grief and aloneness or separation or persecution or depression. So I'm going to ask in the theme, what can we know today? And using the Doreen Virtue Unicorn Oracle deck. So we're going to have some fun. That was my main message today. You go from fear, doubt, shame, guilt, confusion, suffering, I'm lost, stagnation to what do I want to create? How do I want to be a co-creator with this beautiful universe? Really? I pulled two. First one is, you'll know in the morning. Maybe I need to go to bed, which I'm sure is true. I haven't slept all that well lately. And it says, when you wake up, you'll have a better idea about what to do. Relax until then. So the theme of this, and I think we're doing a lot of healing and growth in soul groups. So to me, the concept of soul groups is that we have soul family that we work with. Sometimes there's some of our very favorite and most difficult soulmates that we learn the most from. Sometimes they hurt us the worst, or we love them the most. And so soul family, and they could be, our perfect best friends and mates and family members and things like that. But then you go into another soul tribe. So that's it's like the next layer. Could be extended family. What do you think? Like, if we look at it like that, it could be like all the cousins and your favorite aunts and uncles. And I just never see mine, so I must call them soon. And then the next layer can be soul groups that you learn big lessons with. Soul groups. So it's like rings of souls that come together for certain purposes. And then our main ones, the closest ones, would be what I call our soul family. And then you would have soul tribe, the ones that are rising up with you and learning similar lessons. And they could live across the world, and they could live down the street. You just, and then you have soul groups where you learn karmic lessons together or have some others, next layer of things in common. And so I think, a soul group can be, for sure, people that have the same kind of wounding or addictions or issues and learn. And it could be the opposite. Some have the addictions, some are the victims, or it could be like in family. I believe very much, like in a very strong way, that for a very long time, like I've been working on this for how many years? Like the family line stuff, what's in our bloodlines and our energy bodies that we receive from our families. That could be beliefs, understandings, views, ideas. We are clearing those out. It is brutal and painful and unbelievable for many. And so that's been going on for a long time, but it seems to be really like, here, you guys asked for this. Let's work on the DNA, the soul tribe, like, is ready for that. Cleansing, clearing, releasing karmic ties, cords, attachments. We're all working on the bigger picture together. So that's a soul grouping. And I've really been, especially since Mother's Day of this year, 2019, which I was kind of like going, oh, this is the year of freedom. We're going to, have, good, finally. Oh, it's going to be wonderful. But it's seeming that the freedom hasn't come yet for many of us. And the key may very well be not that you have to be, in therapy and doing energy work all day, but to really be conscious and aware of some of those wounds coming up and issues coming up, and integrate them and release. And I've been noticing also, and I was listening to a YouTube while I drove home. I was at my friend's house that's way out in the country, and they're at their house. It's I don't know, probably an hour or so from where I live. So I was pushing on YouTube's to listen to on the way home while I was driving home. And I love Aluna Ash. So I'll write that in the description box. But sometimes she gets some really similar stuff as I do, and she says it in a more focused, balanced way. And sometimes she just gets she makes me click, like, oh my gosh, that's it. That makes sense. That's it. That's the answer. And that happened tonight when I was driving. So Aluna Ash, check her out. It's amazing. She's so advanced and really good stuff. So I was clicking on some things and realized she said something about timelines and coming together, and I thought, I'm having weird flashbacks that are not bothersome about all kinds of different people and lots of dreams. And I keep going, that seemed real. And then I thought, this is another timeline that I'm experiencing at the same time. No wonder I'm so tired. We are integrating timelines like a harpsichord is what I look like, the harpsichord. And it's actually really good. So things that used to bother me yesterday or 10 years ago, they seem to be released now. And in my dreams, certain issues with certain people or relationships, certain people I was not expecting at all to be in my dreams or awareness at all. I haven't seen them or thought about them for a long time, are showing up. And I'm like, oh, different timelines. And so that's really good. That feels very happy. And I believe that that's going on in all layers of consciousness. Again, personally to worldwide. And so we've had a lot of adjustments and shifts. So if there's anything you want to know, and again, I'm advising all of us to kind of call out to the higher selves of your soul tribe and soul families and go, I don't know what to do. I miss you. You hurt me really bad, but I don't want to hurt anymore. I don't want to keep the knot of energy or anger or resentment. The truth is, we want to be free of this for the next billion years. So let's release this together and we can ask the universe, we can ask the light to harpsichord our timelines in smoothly and easily and help us release anything that we no longer need, that's not for the highest good in us, and keep moving. Rest, relax, extra. So you'll know in the morning if there's anything inside of your heart that you pardon me, have really been worried about or thinking about. Maybe focus on the true highest good answer, and you'll wake up just knowing. How's that? You'll know in the morning. That was a really good one. I was expecting something silly, to lighten everybody up, but you'll know in the morning is awesome. And again, relax until then. Breathe and relax. The other one I pulled was grandparent. And so that's family line stuff. And I have been feeling my loved ones more recently. And so I've also been getting the message in the consciousness, the energy layers, that all of us are kind of being plugged back in our alignment, where we all have a connection with God, with love, our loved ones, and the veil is thinning, and that means our veils are thinning, our cleansing, our apocalypse. I remember I think it was like 2010, and I had some of the greatest mentors and friends and stuff like that, but I was also going through a really hard time, and I always understand energy the most. That's my understanding for me. So I had a couple of friends, and they kept going, well, it's 2012. It's going to be the apocalypse. Something's changing. It's, it's all in all the books and all that kind of stuff. And I said, I don't know. It's not like that. And my friend, who is clergy and just the most intelligent person, he was so good to me. We had so much fun. And learning in that friendship is just, thank you. He didn't talk about it much, but he said it's kind of an apocalypse is coming. The energies are open up. The darkness is just wildly unleashed. And so, energetically speaking, it's kind of true. And things are going to change, and it'll be tumultuous. And, humanity hasn't really chosen all that well, is what I think. This is my own personal opinion. I kept going, no, it's not an apocalypse. There will be, some things, and it won't happen in one day. That one, what is it? 12. Oh yeah. Okay. That was, the Ascension Day, right? And I kept going, no, it's not that. It's not that way. It's going to be for the people that we call it an apocalypse, or changes, or, I'm trying to think of different words, but the apocalypse coming. I said, it's not going to be like the movie where, fireballs come out of the sky. That could happen. I don't think the whole world's going to flood. That could happen, but I don't think so. And there has, I think there will be, I said, weather things, but it's the apocalypse is inside of each one of us. And I remember thinking in 2009 and 2010, as I was studying energy, or, really working on it every day, and working with mentors and energy healing and structure, matrix things, I just kept going, it's not the apocalypse. It's going to last for a long time. It'll take us a long time to clean up, and it's inside of us. And I'm having that same vision and that same feeling again. And actually some of the same experiences also of that time period of my life and awakening coming into now, because the pieces that are still there, the pieces in consciousness around us, that's bouncing around, and the energy that's unseen, is really coming to our awareness, and in each one of us, and coming up for review, per se, I guess, and healing, clearing, cleansing. And so that's been just wildly vivid, as I kept going, thinking, we're processing all of this, and it's all right. We're all right. Everything's going to be all right. Might hurt a little bit, and remember to tell the people you love them. Not that you're mad and they didn't do it good enough for you. Love them, as they are also struggling. Whether, I always say this, the people that are not on a spiritual path and roll their eyes about, or really resist or dislike things like psychic things, or energy talking, or star beings, or things like that. They just hate that stuff. They're going through their own stuff too. And it doesn't matter. They can whatever they want. But we're all in this together. And to just really nurture each other, even the extremely wounded people spinning out, and just really kind of remember, if you've been hurt really bad or traumatized or whatever it is, maybe pay attention a little bit to releasing the anger or the judgment against anyone else, even if they were the perpetrator or the narcissist or the abuse person. And what do you say? We can maybe, unless your grandparent was yucky, maybe just say, hey, grandparents living and past, can we have a little extra hug? We need a little extra love right now. And keep moving. I'm seeing passions being reignited, and channeling I did last week, where I didn't quite understand, made more sense today. I was like, oh, that's what that means. And that's really good. And it feels like, as we come into, pardon, we had super allergy alert today. I always have allergies wherever I'm at. Someone asked me on a reading, are you sick? Do you have a cold? And I said, no, It's just pollen. Lots of pollen. So I forgot what I was saying. Just telling the story. Oh, so the energies are actually really beautiful, but it's just been, a little bit tough for everybody in the movement of it all. And how about we focus on what we can know to help us become co-creators and let go of any subconscious or unconscious things, reactions, patterns, wounds, ties, attachments that we all have. And what do we really want? Peace. We want peace. We want abundance for everyone. We want happiness for everyone. We want everyone to have their true, correct family, friends, loved ones. So let's just kind of leave it at that. I'm going to pull one more card from my favorite card deck, which is the Sacred Geometry Activations Oracle deck. It's just my favorite. And see if there's a theme that can help us stay focused or stay up higher in the higher energy, even if it hurts, even if it thumps you, even if it just, like me, I woke up today and had some serious PTSD. I was supposed to meet my friend early, and I called her, and I didn't call her, I texted her, and I said, I'm having a little bit, she knows me for a really long time, and I said, I'm having a little bit of a flashback of PTSD, I'm having some anxiety, will you give me an extra minute? She goes, yeah, do you want me to come pick you up? I was way out of her way, and I said, yeah, and we had a blast today. She just helped me learn how to integrate that in myself without holding on to it, without overthinking it. And she did ask me, she's like, where is this stemming from? And so I got to tell her that was really cool, and then let it go and really realize the appreciation, the gratitude that I have for all my experiences, even if they were really hard. Yeah. So what do we want to focus on? What do we want to create instead of the lower energies, the worries, the overthinking of certain things? What do we want instead? So I'm going to ask all of our guides and guardian angels to maybe give us the card that will help us think and put us back into the really high energy that could help all of our dreams come true, reignite our passions, whatever that is, even if we forgot what it is. How's that? Someone's saying you can also use the violet flame or prayer. Ask God to release stuff, your guardian angels, creator, to help you just release, and where you don't have to think about it or overthink or be. Of course, we have to be responsible for ourselves, but just what can we do while we're having fun? How can we integrate while we're having fun? How can we heal while we're enjoying? And I'm also hearing that each one of us will have movement if you felt really, again, stagnant or like, okay, what's this worth? Blah, burned out, stagnant, depressed, all kinds of stuff. If you felt that way, to me, it feels like there will be several waves coming in that'll help us move forward, and we'll go, I kind of feel like myself a little bit. And so breathe that energy in, breathe that light in. Well, here's what I'm getting. Divine masculine. So it feels like to me, divine masculine is recognizing in themselves some of the things that they couldn't see in themselves. That's what that tells me right there. The frequency of the divine masculine, which would be just, again, consciousness and have to be a person. So the frequency of divine masculine supports our strong, focused, active side, allowing it to express itself while helping us to bring our dreams and ideas into form with kindness and wisdom. So that's what I was just asking for. How can we, with enjoyment, kindness, wisdom to ourselves, bring in this next part of our lives, or next steps that, really fire us up, make us happy? What do we want our lives to be like every day? Divine masculine. Nice. I'm delighted by that. Makes sense. I accidentally pulled 2, and the other one was cosmic flower. Cosmic flower. And can you just feel that energy if you say cosmic flower and look at the... It's like beautiful and whole, and your heart chakra is open, cosmic flower. And you feel loved and safe and supported. Where I think every single one of us on the planet has felt alone and separate and disappointed and left behind and abandoned and rejected at some point. Could be 1 or 2 points, and that's hurt us a lot. Let's breathe in the cosmic flower that can help us stay up in the higher energies or frequencies as we do our daily lives and remember how to enjoy it again. Remember what we really like. And remember, maybe our connections, our true connections, our true soul tribe and soul groups. Feels like to me in these last weeks and months and upcoming, in the next weeks, feels like next weeks, we have released and finished soul contracts, which would be a learning together. Like my soul is contracted to your soul to meet in this lifetime, and we will learn some stuff together. You will play this role and I will play this role. So it feels like the soul contracts are being completed. And that could be in old family generational things, and it could be in relationships. It could be, this is kind of cool because I am seeing, this part's not cool, but the people breaking up, marriages dissipating, people that have been in long-term relationships breaking up. And some of them are going to come back together. Families separating a little bit. Just finished, just done, just can't take anymore. However, I think as each of us clear and integrate some of our shadow or our own stuff, our own issues, wounds, stuff like that, we would call that shadow work. Some people might come back together, like your family might come back together more whole. And if you really love somebody, just let them know, I really love you. I do want to know you. You're my sister. I love you. It won't ever stop. I'm sorry. This has hurt. Can we start over? And you have a blank slate with some people. I also see there's just time in some ways here and there for some people to certainly let go and have a new soul group. And it might be a different experience, a different relationship, a different experience in many ways. So we might be meeting new soul connections as well. So that's really exciting. Feels like we are moving on up to the top, to the deluxe apartment in our consciousness, Anyway, cosmic flower just feels like to me it's a blossoming and blooming of our consciousness. So if our consciousness or the universe or our planet had chakras or energy systems, it would just be blooming at the heart chakra of the universe. Cosmic flower blooming at the chakra of our planet and any subject. So the cosmic flower can be blooming in any area of our circumstances, our lives. Could be our careers too. I think people are changing some stuff in their careers and making some decisions that they didn't think they would. Cosmic flower. Man, that's one of my favorite ones in this deck. It says the frequency of cosmic flower activates our remembrance of the place we call home. Man, that's been the theme of my entire life. I want to go home. The cosmic flower activates the remembrance of the place that we call home, the core from which we pour our magnificence out into the world. That's awesome. I couldn't have come up with that better. So I send out great love and blessings and super cosmic flower blessings and the divine masculine balanced as we're balancing the masculine, feminine energies in the bigger picture consciousness. Send out love and the cosmic flower energy to everybody, so that we can kind of focus on the love and the joy and feeling we do belong, and we're important and loved. So hope you guys have a great week. See you later. Blessings.